A new PSA by an organization known as Sandy Hook Promise is getting a lot of attention online. We're gonna show you this powerful PSA, but before I do so, I just wanna warn you that it might trigger some people. It's very emotional, graphic, but that's what makes it so powerful. Take a look.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
And I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
That's one of the best ads I've seen. That's the kind of ads we need to make because it's real. You know how many school shootings have happened already this year? 22. So 22 times just this year alone, and we're not anywhere near done with the year. School's back in session now. There'll be more. That scenario has actually happened. So we've lost our minds as a country. If that ad bothers you, the reality of what happens in our schools should bother you 1,000 times more. And if, look, we know what the answer is, and we know that our politicians aren't gonna do it because they prefer the money that they get from their donors to our kids' lives. So that's the reality. And the reason that progressives historically have not run ads like this is because they're obsessed with the wrong standard. The standard in Washington is civility. Well, our kids getting murdered in these schools is not civil. And us just sitting on the couch and doing nothing about it and not fighting back politically is not our idea of civility and the right way to handle this. It's about time that people got aggressive politically and did ads like this so you can see it for yourself. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean those scenes didn't happen. They do happen in our schools on a regular basis. I just sent my kids back to school. We can't have this as a nation. And right now, guys like Mitch McConnell say, no vote. I don't, forget voting against it. I won't even allow a discussion or a vote on this issue.
Exactly. And Nancy Pelosi gets a lot of flack for good reason, but the House did pass gun control legislation, common sense gun control legislation, which I don't even think goes far enough, but at least it's a start. That is being blocked by Mitch McConnell. And I wonder why, Senator Chuck Schumer is not getting any flack. Because if I were a senator, a Democratic senator, if I were Democratic leadership within the Senate, I would go out there and I would hold Mitch McConnell accountable every single day for blocking a vote on gun control legislation.
See, because to them, being inside the club is more important than fighting back. So after every shooting, Chuck Schumer will say angry things, fake angry things, if you ask me. I can't believe the Republicans aren't doing anything. Vote for me and the people that I support, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you say, all right, well, constructive critique. Okay, you could do a speech every day on the floor of the Senate that they don't hold a vote with pictures of the kids who have died in school shootings. Put up one picture after another. And if they say, hey, that's unbecoming, well, it's far more unbecoming that those kids actually died. And so that's why I love what Sandy Hook Promise is doing here. And it's led by the parents who had their kids murdered in Sandy Hook in Connecticut. And so if I was in their situation and people are like, oh, I think your ad is too harsh. Well, I'll take it under advisement, okay? And so, hey, look, support them in every way that you can. They've trained more than 7.5 million people in their Know the Signs program that trains youth and adults how to identify at-risk behavior and intervene. So it isn't just about gun control. It's also different things that you could do to prevent this kind of violence in your schools. But gun control is obviously a huge part of this.
Yeah, it's the primary issue that needs to be focused on. Look, I think that in addition to that, training people to identify risk factors is important, but the onus shouldn't only be placed on possible victims of mass shootings. We need to get our cowardly politicians to do something. That is what they were elected for, to actually represent the best interests of the American people. They are not doing that at all. The only thing they represent is their own political career and their own financial interests, and that's it.
So I want to tell you one more thing that you could do. So we have a petition. It's to draw attention to this issue, but it has an important twist that other people don't do. So it's tyt.com/nevernra. And our point is, no politician should ever take money from the NRA that incentivizes them to support gun manufacturers which profit off of these deaths. It doesn't mean that you have to vote for gun control. It doesn't say you have to vote against people who don't believe in gun control. No, we're just saying if you're really opposed to gun control and you think, well, these deaths, they would have happened anyway with pencils and pens and whatever your ideology is, I'm not concerned about that. And if you live in a place where you think, hey, in order to win, I gotta be against gun control, that's a separate issue. But I gotta know you're at least being honest about it. You're not doing it just for the sake of bribery. So stop taking the bribes from the NRA. And then if you actually vote against gun control, I'll believe that that's your actual opinions, right? And that you're representing your constituents. But right now, no one believes that. We think every politician who takes money from the NRA is in effect being bribed by the NRA, and the result of those bribes is our kids dying. So it is the simplest request we could have, tyt.com/nevernra. So if there's any politician that ever takes, I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat or anyone else, you take money from the NRA and you should never get another vote in America. And I think that even gun owners should agree to that, because don't you want your politicians to be honest and represent you because they actually agree with you instead of the fact that the NRA bribed them? And if you're saying, wait, Cenk, is it fair to call it bribes? The Supreme Court said it's legal to bribe politicians if you call it campaign contributions. NRA gave $70 million in 2016 to politicians. Do you think they did that for their health? Do you think they did it for charity? No, they did it because they're largely run by gun manufacturers that want to make more money. They wanted a return on investment, and they got it, but part of that return on investment was our dead kids. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.